We're going to go ahead and do readings specifically for twin flames, for the divine feminine, for the divine masculine, to see what is going on. Today is my favorite. You might be feeling a little bit of a supermoon hangover, and that's because oftentimes when the energies, because they are still that high, when they go that high, oftentimes you don't sleep good. It can bring hidden emotions to the surface, and they very much amplify whatever's going on within you. So whatever you're feeling, you're going to feel it a little bit extra in these energies, and you might be feeling the lack of sleep too. However, today is one of my favorite days. Today is Pleiadian day. Tonight the moon meets the Pleiades for a powerful energetic event too. So you're probably feeling that in a really, really good way, by the way. So lots of galactic energies joining the mix. You're probably going to be feeling it and feeling really, really good. But we're going to go ahead and do a reading just to see what is going on for you in your love life. I always remind you this is just a general collective reading, so please only take what resonates for your specific situation. We're going to kind of see what is going on. So remember, I always recommend you doing the one-on-one readings as often as you need them through my website, sparksofdivinelighealing.com. If you do need me, you book me on there. I have a ton of twin flame readings and coaching calls on there. I also am an energy healer, and I have tons of healings, clearings, and activations for you on there to help you with navigating your spiritual awakening, ascension journey, and even twin flame journey if you're needing it. So that's where you book me if you do need me, if you need to find me. Okay, so we're going to do things a little bit different today, and I can't wait. We're going to go ahead and do a really good reading and just kind of see what is going on for you. But like I said, only take what is for your situation. That's why the one-on-one work is so, so needed. And today can bring some really, really powerful shifts. And we'll talk a little bit, not to get off track, but the rest of the year is going to bring some intense energies in a good way, but it's moving very, very fast. For some people, you might feel like things are not moving with your situation. If they're not, rest, take care of yourself, do the work. If they are moving, that's a really, really good thing. It's a bonus. So it kind of depends specifically on where you're at in the journey. Now, we all want to just sit in that bliss love bubble, right? In utopia with our twin flame. However, the only thing that's ever going to block that or come up from that happening or kind of get in the middle of that is things that you need to work on within your energy field. So sometimes this could be we're being guided to clear more blocks, inner emotions that are kind of blocking things up, inner thoughts, inner feelings, or even attachments and things in our field. So twin flame is meant to really, really help you on the energy level. There's a lot kind of happening energetically before I'm getting started on this reading. So take care of your energy right now, especially on the twin flame journey, as so much comes up so fast. Okay, so we're going to see. First, I want to start with this reading with like some messages from your person and their higher self of like what is going on, okay? And then we're going to go ahead and do what's going on for you and your specific person. So we're going to get a good read on this video today. If you aren't following my page, make sure that you're liking my page and following it too for more updates. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to tap in first to your specific person and some messages from their higher self, okay? So this is like what's going on the bigger level. Our relationship was different and special. Other people don't understand it. I love this, okay? And I'm always like reminding people, and everyone's different situation, but if people are like giving you bad advice about your life, doesn't surprise me. Really take it into account of like where you're getting that advice. Go to a professional. Like, right? But if you have like friends and family, that's like what I'm getting at, that are kind of giving you advice that can literally take you off your path, throw you off your path, or trigger insecurity about your situation. This is very common on the twin flame journey, that people can kind of get in the way. I think they hopefully mean well, maybe not, but hopefully they mean well, but they're always like helping you at their level. You got to remember that people that have not gone through the twin flame journey are not going to understand the intense, yes, it's an intense healing process, and all of the many, many phases of the journey and stages of the journey, and also the many layers that it's going to trigger to the surface. This is meant to be a good thing, that is meant to help you, to motivate you. That's why you met your twin flame first and you've locked into the process. If you've met your twin flame, you are locked into this process, and it's meant to help keep you on track even when you think you're like throwing in the towel, quitting, done. It's an illusion. It's not how it's really going. But it's to help you to clear out those negative thoughts and beliefs and energies that are definitely going to be triggered to the surface through this journey. And so a lot of people might not understand this journey, and it might even come down to maybe only you and your twin flame understand what's going on with you. But I always urge you to get professional help with this when you're needing it. A lot of people don't like that. But unless you've gone through this, you might not understand some of the things that you're facing are coming up. This is not for the faint of heart. This is like for those that are awakening, really doing the work, have come to earth to do this specific twin flame journey. Now, my favorite part is many of you guys are doing the twin flame journey and you're doing your ascension too, by the way. So you're doing like a lot. You have a lot going on. This is a good thing. I don't think that any story that doesn't have these components in it is just kind of, sorry, to me, right? It's not even worth it. A lot of you guys, this is what you're here for. You're here for this epic kind of love. You're here for the twin flame journey, and it's really, really powerful as part, I don't like the word catalyst, but as a catalyst or as part of your awakening too, to motivate you to kind of get up and do more of that work on yourself. And it's all about working on you. This is only going to benefit, well, it's going to benefit your all areas of your life, because we're talking about it benefiting your relationships and your love life and bringing a healing into that. But the more that you're healing yourself, you're going to become that healing balm or that healing source for these other areas and components of your life. So it's meant for you, by the way, to really motivate you to become a better person, to use whatever's going on, the scenario going on in your life, to use it to fuel you, to motivate you to kind of work on your healing a little bit more right now. So this person understands you deeply. Maybe this is like such a starseed message for this person. Maybe people have not understood you fully. They haven't seen you very deeply. Like even in your previous connections, they might have been very surface level. Maybe you didn't even want to go deep with them. Maybe they didn't have the capacity to go that deep with you. This person, they understand your many layers. They see you, they get you, they understand you. And this is everything that you've wanted in reality and maybe been a little bit too afraid to kind of dive into. But this person sees you and understands you on a deep level. And you might feel like maybe some of your friends and family don't get what's going on with your twin flame situation, and that's okay, or the people around you, but this other person does, okay? They want to reassure you of that. I still see your smiling face in my mind's eye. This is someone that thinks of you literally 24/7. I try to explain this to people because you guys already know it. The person watching this reading, you think of this person an awful lot, and that they mirror that, okay? They are too. This is why so many people tend to, and I don't want to say this is for everyone, back away from the connection, run away from the connection, because when you're thinking about someone all day long, it's too intense, right? They're trying to understand it with their ego. We have these components. It depends on how your twin flame journey is laid out, but oftentimes you have to go through different stages of the journey and, different phases of the journey too. It just kind of depends. I feel that's a necessity. I hate to say that, for some, to motivate you to do a deeper level of the work. And so sometimes if we go through stages apart or in separation, welcome to earth. That happens. You guys agreed to separate, to come to earth and find each other, and maybe even separate again at times. And this is going to really, really trigger a lot if you've been through that stage, or if you're spending time apart, it can trigger a lot. It's triggering energetic attachments, wounds, and things that were already there in your field. It's not anything new from this person, even though it feels like they're triggering you, to show you what to work on and to give you the space and the time, I'll say, to work on these things within your field, because you can't ascend with them. And so this person may be playing a powerful role in your awakening, what they're triggering or the buttons they've pushed for you on this journey. And I always say it's usually unintentional, but sometimes these things go a little bit deeper into our soul contracts and our soul agreements. We have a lot coming up around soul contracts and soul agreements right now. Now we're also going into we're almost in Mercury retrograde. This is bringing up things from your past that you need to heal and that you need to resolve. And so right now, because we're in that retrograde kind of area or space, you might be having some of these themes come up. If you have like past people popping up, you are going there with your mind and thinking about past relationships or experiences, because this is a relationship reading, but it could pertain to all sorts of things that you need to heal. If you have a trauma and you're like constantly going back to an old timeline, or you have things, there are things that you need to resolve still from your past. And sometimes it's like you're thinking about it and then you're consciously aware of it. Sometimes you're not, and you're unconsciously holding these patterns or things from your past. There are many things that are going to need to be resolved for Mercury retrograde. Don't expect Mercury retrograde to be a magical fix to bring your twin flame back if you haven't done enough of the work. But if you've done enough of the work, it can be really, really amazing for actually reunion energy and, things that helping you accelerate things that you need to go into and heal during this time. Now, unfortunately, this is what I'm already seeing in the collective. It can put people into that hermit energy. So if your twin flame's been kind of distant or pulled back or doing their own thing, you might notice that a little bit more. For some, things are not where they want to be or moving, and that's okay. It depends. Now, for some, this is really going to speed things up, and they're going to be reaching out to you if you haven't heard from them. Now, I like to do these for everyone because a lot of you guys are in union, right? And things are going pretty good, but there might be old stuff coming up. I was telling my own twin flame as I was, we're both moving through our own stuff individually as souls, and of course the stuff that we talk about, and we like to talk about everything. And I was telling him, I can't remember exactly, but I knew I wanted to put in this video. You are going to, and this is going to fit my next message, you are going to have to go into some very deep areas within yourself right now. We've moved into this time of the year. You're going to have to go into the deepest shadows right now within yourself. It's just things that might be popping up. This might be actually popping up in your reality as like things going on, and because it's always a reflection. So pay attention to anything negative you're facing, dealing with, things kind of popping up in your reality. These are indicating, areas of your soul. We're human beings, we all have a soul, right? Areas of your soul like that you're needing to go into and bring a little bit of healing to, but sometimes we don't always know that, and it's like old stuff popping up. So you might feel that right now. And circumstances in your life may have already put you back into the cocoon. So this is just for people that are going through this and this resonates with, but I see this a lot with the collectively. Some of you guys, your twin flame, you might be navigating separation, distance, no talking, no communication, or maybe you're together and you're already just feeling this vibe. You've been put in the cocoon. You're back in the cocoon for whatever reason, and it might have become apparent this year, especially the second half of 2025, and we're not done yet, baby, right? The second half of this year is bringing up a lot of stuff. You might feel it as energetic intensity, feeling under pressure, or even things in your life that like everything was going good and it's like all this stuff's being thrown at you, or, whatever you're having to go through, okay? This is getting intense. The energies are going to continue to rise through the end of the year, but they're very purifying and healing if you allow them to work their magic. So you got a lot of this stuff kind of coming up in this reading. One more message from your twin flames higher self while we're doing this. There's so much unspoken between us. I need to tell you how I really feel. Now, there's going to be the masculines and feminines watching this. So for either, you're getting a lot of confirmation as your twin flame is opening up to you about things going on with their side that you already knew. You have a knowing. You can tap in. Twin flames don't have to talk to each other. You literally share powerful vibrations and frequency. You tap into a lot past the spoken. You might be able to read their emotions good, their energy good, what's going on with them. A lot of you guys, especially in separation, you get a lot of downloads. And then when you talk to your twin flame, it's like they're letting you in. So there's a lot of this like opening up and letting you in energy right now, things that were not said that need to be said, and things like this. And one thing that kind of I notice should drive you crazy, but drives me crazy working with twin flames, sometimes it's just like it just stops the connection. That's because it's going to pick back up where it left off, because as souls we reunite with each other, and it's just like you pick up right where you left off, okay, within the journey, within the lessons. Okay, now one of the reasons that leads to separation is energy state. And so if you feel like that, like it's kind of in a pause, You might have been moving too fast. You might have been not doing the work. You might have been focusing too much on your twin flame. And I mean, within yourself and things like that too. But there's going to be, for those that are no contact, not a lot of contact, haven't seen your twin flame for a little while, you're going to be seeing them. There's going to be communication. There's going to be that reunion energy. For those that are in union, this person is finally letting down their walls and letting you in. And this might be very reflective of where you're at, that if you're doing the work to release things that you're holding on to, they're going to reflect that work. And so it's like, oh my God, you're connecting on such a depth right now. They might be finding the words to tell you what's going on within their side. They might be just feeling open enough to really let you in on that level. So, and this is some more messages about what's kind of going on. Shadow work. And this is important that you're doing the shadow work. A lot of people don't like that. It's like, as soon as you get to this layer of like the healing, your ego might amp up. You might have attachments that do this to you too, and things like that, that as soon as you get to that level of like clearing these things, letting go of these things, it's like, you know, you go back into it. It depends. I talked about this year bringing a little bit of a spiral, and you might have like got to a certain place and had to go back. It's the healing. It's like, I'm picturing the spiral, the Fibonacci, right? Spiral or something like that. So you might feel like you've been having to go back into old stuff, or you're not trying to, and you know, it might be kind of pulling you back there. So shadow work is such a necessity as we're moving through this second half of the year. Okay, we're getting ready to close it out. I'm not going to go there, right? But it's such a necessity as we're moving towards the winter too, that you might be kind of facing some of this stuff. It's stuff you need to work on within yourself, your own patterns. Twin flame is designed to help you to do that by what it triggers to the surface. And this is just stuff that you got to work on, okay? And you're going to know that. If needing help, you guys know where to find me to do that, right? Some level of accountability and kind of working on yourself is needed to continue to purge out and release negative thoughts, toxic traits, you know, things like that. And this will help heal the overall dynamic. Okay, time to really put the effort into this. And this is important with everything. I find nothing moves unless we make it on Earth. Welcome to Earth, right? We have to put the effort in, whether it is a manifestation goal, union could be that goal, right? Healing your union, making the effort to change if you have things going on or the other person. You have to set everything into motion here. Everything does mirror your inner thoughts, your inner dialogues, and your energy state and things like that too. So you're being guided to really put more effort into this connection. For some that are in union, really bringing that healing energy into it and shifting it to a higher trajectory or state, okay? We have this huge thing about leveling up. We actually have to, because we're living on Earth during this time. It's literally what you signed up for. You knew you were going to literally come to Earth to like the lowest frequency you could hold, and that you were going to have to work your way back up. That is what Ascension is. So doing things to raise your vibrational frequency, pouring into yourself and pouring into your connection, you're going to see such amazing results too, okay? Open yourself up to others, and this is powerful too, and it's time to really open up in this connection. And when you do that, you give your person space to do the same. People only go as deep as you're willing to go with them. This is like really getting to know each other on a deeper level, opening up, you know, sharing your dream. They should know about your dreams, your fears, things you're working through, things you're struggling with. Things like this can really, really help to build intimacy, because we're trying to heal our relationships. And you have a bad template. I hate to say it, I'm not picking. You have a bad template. It started in childhood, all of your toxic relationship traits, trying to keep your parents happy or please your parents or tiptoe around them, depending on how toxic they were or their connection was or how they were with you. So it doesn't start in adulthood. Our template actually starts in childhood, and then it builds in a karmic sense, right? And so now we're at this space, like I was talking about today, healing your blueprint, your energy blueprint for your relationships as a necessity to healing your relationships so you can get off of the karmic wheel. Now, the problem is a lot of people see the twin flame enter, and until you heal and release those karmic patterns, you're going to be bringing them in, almost like you're carrying them around in a backpack into your twin flame relationship and connection. And if anything, they're going to be triggered even more in this type of relationship. So it's also important that you're healing your energy and your relationship blueprint. And this is going to lead to such a higher, healthier union with this person too. So we have these kind of themes that are coming up. Now I'm going to do 2 piles of cards right now. I'm going to do one for you to see what is going on with you. And then I'm going to do the other side and we'll see what's going on within your person, okay? With this relationship, okay? Because you can have 2 very different perspectives or 2 very different lessons. I'm always trying to explain this. You know, you're probably having very different lessons out of this same connection than this person. It's helping you to work through your own flaws and things and stuff you have to better. And same with your person. Okay, we talked about being a little bit in the cocoon. You might be spending a little bit of time in solitude. Now, for some, this is at a choice. You might be wanting to. You might find if you're in union, you're pulling back your energy a little bit and you're needing to kind of put up energetic boundaries for your own self or your own life or things kind of going on. You might find that you're someone expressing this to your twin flame a little bit. And things like that. When we hold boundaries, we can actually have a healthier relationship. If we have no boundaries, this is where toxic relationships literally form. So as we're learning how to take care of our energy and preserve our energy, you know, even in the healthiest relationships, we need energetic boundaries. It helps us to have a healthier connection and to kind of translate or convey what's going on with this person with us. So you might find you're spending a little bit of time by yourself. Some people it's forced through separation and you don't want to, and the universe is making you. Okay. And then some people, it's by choice, like, you know, you're having to kind of draw a line between this connection and your own individuality and what you're doing with your life. It could be because you have other things to do and you're navigating other things. It just kind of depends. Now, we're in the aftermath of the supermoon. We're going to be feeling it the next couple of days. And a lot of people are kind of taking it personal, like my twin flame needs a little bit of alone time. You're trying to integrate all these energies. You're trying to heal. You got a lot going on. Okay, so we have surrender. Ego is flaring up big time for you on your side. Sometimes it's subtle and sometimes it's a little bit louder, that voice in your head, right? Sometimes it's subtle and it's being triggered or feeling uncomfortable or having to go into avoided aspects. Sometimes it's a little bit louder and it's straight like blaring music, negativity in your head, okay? And it's like the thoughts. This is where the true inner work is done. Sometimes it has to be triggered so you can see it better. So something going on with ego and needing to open up. Now that the reverse of the ego is opening up and having faith and surrendering to the universe and these greater forces that play in your life. This could be, you know, releasing all of that worry, stress, like letting go of it, choosing not to be stressed out and choosing to just kind of see where this path is taking you and to kind of let go of all of that. Twin flame is going to push you if you're like, not saying you are, but if you're kind of a control person, control drama person, it's going to go the opposite usually of how you want it to go because you can't force the flow of energy. Twin flame is an energy flow. And so sometimes we're not realizing that and we just need to kind of surrender and see how it's going with it in many different ways. So there's some ego work that is being done, some ego blocks. It's just old programming and things like that too. We have a lot of relationship toxicity that we're trying to heal and purge out that we picked up along the way, thanks to all of those movies you saw, thanks to your parents' toxic relationships in your childhood and toxic relationships in your past. And you didn't notice them, you're just kind of normalized to it. But we're doing a lot of healing in these areas. So for this person, a lot of what you're healing goes down to your root family issues. So some of the things that you're healing, like some of the wounds that you're carrying, go very deep into your ancestral line and kind of deep into your childhood and even family stuff that you've picked up along the way. You may have picked up toxic traits in your childhood of how you relate. And if you look deeper at the karmic connections of your past, give you great insight into what you're healing and the patterns that you need to heal and how you acted in some of these dynamics to heal old karmic wounds and patterns that are no longer serving you. And so also seeing the role that you're playing, I say in your suffering because we're dealing with ego, and healing some of these deeper karmic wounds from karmic connections. It could take one connection, just one connection that wasn't very great, and it develops patterns with us, and we can even replay certain things until they're healed. We tend to replay things that we don't like until it's healed, and sometimes we don't always know how to heal some of these things because we're needing the energy healing, by the way, to heal some of these deeper karmic wounds, especially if they're fears around relationships, negative thoughts and negative beliefs about relationships, and different things like that kind of coming up. So some stuff from your past has left you more open to kind of karmic stuff happening in your love life. and you're really trying to overcome that and heal it during this time. I can see that you're maybe someone who's really like involved in your own healing, you're getting into healing, you're having an awakening, you're really wanting to heal some of this stuff, but you may not have all of the tools yet on how, but you are starting to see some of the karmic cycles, partners, patterns, and things that you have attracted into your life, but also some of the things that, I hate to say it, you've enabled, you've allowed in the past, that you've allowed a lot of toxicity in the past from some of your partners or maybe even family and people around you, and you're shifting, you're ready. We'll say some of you guys are shifting out of that, or you're ready to shift out of that and to let go of some of these past wounds, cycles, and even attachments from your past in some type of way. Okay, so this is a big theme for you kind of happening. Okay, now this is like a lot of doors are opening, and this is how it is when we're navigating this once we've had an awakening. And this is like, you have many paths and many directions right now. Your choices, actions, and attitudes are kind of determining where you're going. True healing starts on the mental level too. It's an energy level too, but also doesn't matter where you're at and what you have going on, because if we have a lot of negative sabotaging beliefs and thoughts, they're seeping into our reality and kind of derailing us. So it's important also for this person watching this video, this is for you, to make sure that you're healing your thoughts, the choices that you're making healthier choices and better decisions, and really, really navigating this from this place of soul, listening to your own soul. It's guiding you, it's telling you what to do and directing you through this. Is going to help you if you feel a little lost, because for this person, you don't know what direction you're headed in. Okay, you might have just I hate Earth, bad sense of direction, like on Earth, and you don't know, and you're just kind of here. Or you have a lot of options right now, like opening up, and you're not used to that. Maybe you're used to things like not working out and things are actually going good for you. And it's like, you're all over. It's scattered energy. This can also happen with the awakening because you're navigating different dimensions and you're all over the place. Maybe you're a multitasker and you have a lot of projects going on and you're not sure which one to go with, or you got all this stuff going on. And it's like, for this person, you're needing a little bit more clarity, because this is also last card indicating that sometimes when things are going good, you question it and you sabotage things. You have some of your own sabotaging patterns that kind of pop up out of nowhere. You might be used to toxicity, I hate to say that, and when things are going good, you're even more, you're in a spin when it's toxic. Some of your own toxic stuff you got to work on, because it's like, when I see that message, it's a little bit of scattered energy. You might be still feeding all of your energy to your twin flame, and needing to focus on yourself a little bit more, going within, healing some of your own patterns. You need some more clarity. Don't worry. We're going to get some more clarity on what's going on by the time we're done with the reading. But let's go ahead and shift focus to your person side and see what is going on. Okay, they have some type of karmic holdup. For some, this is like actual like karmics and attachments. Not going to go there, right? So if you're like in a third party, whatever, but that's not for everyone. It's probably not going to resonate for everyone. Okay, you're going to know that. So that's just like the external representation of what's going on within, right? Okay, so they have some type of karmic holdup. Like, they might be someone that's like really, really come on strong and fast in the beginning, and now they're like, whoa, 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 and slowing it down. It could be a karmic holdup, or they haven't done enough work to sustain this union energy. A lot of people don't understand that. That's why doing the work helps us to sustain these frequencies, because otherwise it can bring a lot up. So there's something kind of slowing this down, or there's some type of block and something like that. This is my Saturn karmic energy and what's going on there. Okay, they might need to heal something from their karmic past, or they might currently have something kind of going on that might be delaying union or slowing down the process in some type of way. And we'll get a little bit more of that. Regardless, that's a positive message about, you were meant to meet this person so that you can accelerate what's going on for them. You might be triggering some healing to the surface then, or you might be bringing up karmic themes for them and things that they need to heal, or pushing karmic buttons. It just kind of depends. This person is being guided to lean on their feminine energy and their intuition a little bit more. and to kind of trust what they're picking up on. This is someone that might be a little bit disconnected from their intuition, and they might be a little bit back and forth and not sure as well too. That could be reflected from your side. They might be mirroring that as well too, that they don't have all that clarity yet. Things are only getting clear for them now. They're getting more clarity about the connection, about what this means, what it's triggering, why things are happening that way. So this is someone that is a deep thinker. They're inquisitive and they're looking for answers, and they're also needing to really trust, their own psychic intuition with this. There's something out of balance still, but you're coming into balance. This is like my yin yang. You might be like opposites in the sense, but trust me, you're more alike than you think on the spiritual, right? But there's a balancing that needs to happen for this person in their own life, okay? Like they might be a little bit out of balance within themselves, okay? But this could be reflected by things they have going on over here. Once again, it's very much mirroring the reading I just did for you watching the video. So this is your person, okay? They're still trying to find that inner balance and doing that inner work. This is the shadow coming up card, okay? Maybe this connection is triggered like some unpleasantness, some negative traits, negative energy, fear, all of the shadow stuff we have to deal with. They are doing that. They're getting aligned. They're getting into balance. They've had to go into some of those darker rooms of their soul and where it took them to. And so there's some type of like energetic recalibration happening. This might be someone who's very affected and sensitive to the ascension energies. They may know that, or they may not even know that, okay? They might be a little bit of an empath and an energy sensitive, and they're also trying to navigate all of this aside from the connection. So they're just trying to get back in balance with themselves, with their own life. Now, this isn't for everyone, but if they're in separation, you might notice that they need that space to recalibrate and to handle the upgrades that are coming in with the ascension, but with the twin flame journey and what's going on there. If you're in union, they might be needing a little bit of extra room right now to do their own thing and to kind of get within their own flow, I'll say, finding their own flow. And how funny, because in different ways, different cards were getting the same message. They have a lot of split energy too. They might still be feeding energy to the old and kind of focused on healing that or letting go of that, or for some untangling themselves and getting out of the old. For some, they're just trying to get balanced with the awakening and with the ascension shifts that are happening, and they're becoming multidimensional, but they're having a hard time as they're learning how to navigate the different dimensions and the split between dimensions. So there's something kind of going on. They're still giving you a lot of focus, okay? They're still putting a lot of energetic focus on you too. But it's kind of like for this person, there's a tug of war. You might be pulling on their energy. If you're someone thinking about them all the time, they might feel that like an energy pull and they're kind of pulled to you, but it's kind of pulling their energy like a tug of war too. So they have a little bit of imbalance and even a tug of war happening between themselves as they're struggling to stay balanced because of this connection. This connection might be throwing them off kilter, or kind of like a lot for them to integrate at this time, but they are. Don't get me wrong on these messages. So there's someone that is really working on themselves and their own energy, whether consciously or even unconsciously. Once we've locked in, I'm calling it locked into the twin flame process, it can trigger a lot energetically, okay? So they have a lot kind of on their plate energetically. They're doing a good job with this connection, despite what you or other people may think, right? A lot of times people get into their own head with that of like, they're not doing the work. Oh, they are. They're going through this. They're having a lot triggered too, okay? They're always doing that work, whether you see that or not, they are, okay? Like, yes, it's triggering a lot. So this person does have that higher awareness of the connection. A lot of people are like, do they even know that they're my twin flame? They know. They do know, okay? They have that higher awareness of things. Their third eye is open or activating during this time. They've already had a spiritual awakening, or they're going through a spiritual awakening. They understand the connection, okay? And they're getting very psychic. You might have a lot of psychic moments with this person where they're reading your mind, you're in sync and saying the same thing at the same time, because literally you've already transmitted that telepathically, that thought, and they're picking up on it. So you could be like sitting texting them if you're talking to them and they say the same thing that you were thinking. You're getting synced up in a good way, okay? So this shows a very strong third eye connection between you, like a mental connection. Maybe this is different, and not to go there, but like some of your other connections, they might have been a little bit, I don't want to say this, but physical, why you were attracted to them. There was like a strong magnetic pull with your karmic, and it was very physical, but then it fizzled out and, you didn't want to touch them. No, I'm kidding, right? Or like, you connected on that transactional level, and it was very kind of, you know, you were comfortable with each other, right? You're comfortable, but something was missing. And it's this mental connection that you have with this person, with your twin flame, that they connect with you through these other chakras that literally, like if you were asleep, you didn't even have your third eye activated and you weren't able to connect on that level. Now, where you're at with this awakening, you're connecting on a very, very strong mental and a telepathic level, which is special to twin flames. You can do things other people can't, okay? And this is why there's such, yes, there is an agenda to keep twin flames apart and asleep, if you didn't notice, because when we have awakened twin flames, they can tap into all of these gifts and abilities and do all of this stuff, okay? We're not gonna go into that talk. But you have a really, really special connection with this person and a very telepathic connection with this person. They are aware of that. They're picking up on tons of your thoughts, downloads, and getting a lot of their own too. It's the kind of like this connection is helping them to connect the dots or like bring some of the puzzle pieces together in their own life. It's almost like the message I'm being shown, it's almost like, you know, they did all that karmic stuff we talked about too on their side, but it's almost like you're the final puzzle piece and it's making sense. And they're also integrating a lot of previous stuff. We talked about that. They're integrating a lot of past lessons because of this twin flame connection. It's kind of bringing it all together. Okay, so we have a lot of abundance coming in, a lot of prosperity for this person. They might have wounds around money or karmic patterns around money. It could be, you know, for many different reasons. They're healing that, okay? They're going to start to flow really, really good too from this connection, because once we unblock ourselves and do that work, it obviously is helping to heal our twin flame connection, but it heals all areas of our life. We begin to flow more, we begin to activate more and tap into more too. So if there's someone currently stressed or struggling with money, that's going to shift for them, or it is shifting, or it's in the process of shifting. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do back to you in the connection and kind of see what is going on. Okay, so we have the Six of Wands. This isn't for everyone, but some of you guys might be kind of in the spotlight, okay? This could mean that you have a very magnetic energy. You walk into the room and it's like all eyes on you, and you might even be uncomfortable with being seen still. We talked about that in the beginning, and you're like, why is everyone staring at me? Like, maybe some of you guys know that. Maybe some of you guys are literally like in the public view in some type of way. You could be very active, or your person on social media. And usually I see like the opposites. Like one of you guys might be very active on socials. You might have some type of like light work or spot or something you're doing. And like when you're, and I know all about it, when you're in the public view, it is puts you on another level, because you also attract a lot of very positive stuff, but you can attract a lot of negative stuff because you're kind of being seen and showing yourself. And this is why starseeds love to stay hidden and small. Okay, so this is like getting bigger, okay? It's like maybe it's opening up with your twin flame and like, you know, being seen on that level, but also publicly. This is not for everyone, but take it if it resonates. Some of your twin flames might be literally famous or in the public eye, and this might make them a little bit weird in other areas of their life. Like they might really value privacy, if so, like in other areas of their life, or even be a little bit secretive. And you might be like, okay, for some this is like actual stardom and they're like in the public eye in a job. It could be literally like entertainment, politics, things like that. For some it's just maybe they have a really big page and like that's going somewhere. It just kind of depends on how this is with that too. But regardless, even if that doesn't resonate, this is someone who is, you're both very magnetic because of this. Remember that you're kind of cut from the same cloth, we'll say, right? And so like, if that's resonating, you're real magnetic, they're real magnetic, in a way that they might even be like, whoa, whoa, whoa with that. Like some people either have it, you know, that you got that spark, we'll just say. And twin flames are very much keepers of the flame. And so people notice you. People notice your twin flame, okay? They do. They notice you have a higher frequency, a different type of energy. In the past, this caused a lot of problems for both of you, where people were trying to keep you small. They might have told you, like, don't talk so much. Can you dial it down? Can you not be so big, right? And it's almost like that kind of energy that I'm picking up on. And you're able to be yourself in this connection in so many different ways. So because of this twin flame connection, it might kind of blow up things in your life. And I don't mean for the negative. Let's talk positive for once. Okay? Like as you're cleaning your energy, you might be more noticeable. Like it might be like suddenly your business is thriving, or whatever it is, your career, whatever you're doing in other aspects, it's going to bring a very positive energy because you're able to channel that twin flame energy into this area. But let's go back to, you have old wounds that you're having to go through, okay? Then this is like not just one thing, this is multiple traumatic events in your life that maybe you didn't have time to heal because you're going through so much, or the luxury of healing, or you didn't have the tools. That's really what it comes down to, or that awareness. So there's old stuff being triggered still because of this connection. And this can translate, this is like my guy, it's one of my favorite cards, my guy who's up all night, stressed out. And it's like, maybe you're great while you're staying busy during the day, but when you're going to bed, you're kind of laying there. You might be waking up a lot through the night. This is my full moon hangover card. I said, we're still in that. The next couple of days, you might be a little bit moody. You might be a little bit irritable. You might have old things coming up. It's going to amplify how you're feeling energetically and whatever's going on in your life. Now, I love to make that work for you. And I already said this in the beginning. Energy healings, they work better, right? Okay, they amplify that. If you need to feel better, you're needing a shift. A lot of people come to me when they need to feel better over a certain situation. You're needing to feel better. You just need some healing energy. That will help with this card, okay? Because there's some type of anxiety coming up. There might be some kind of stress, some type of fear. It's like, maybe not all the time. For some of you guys, you're really aware of that, or just the ego creeping in like we talked at the beginning of the conversation. There's some type of new beginning energy though that's going to come out of this. This is a breakthrough and a shift. And I love this because this is like, we talked about karmic energies that are going to be clearing. It's going to open things up. Things are not always as open in the beginning. This is the connection you didn't see coming generally. Just like your awakening. There's certain things in your life, right? And so this is some type of karmic energy clearing. And as you're doing that work, your twin flame is going to get motivated to do more and more of it too. So if there's been something triggering the connection, it could be other players in the middle. It could just be karmic blocks. For some, this is court legal stuff, literally, because this is how the karmic energy translates into things. So if there's been some type of stuff like that, for some it's financial loss and whatever it is, okay? There's this energy is going to clear, and you're going to get a new beginning with this person. It could be pushing out or getting rid of those energies, or healing these energies that have been throwing off union. Generally how it goes, you start out like coming together and it's amazing. The problems seep up, those problems right there, whatever they are, whatever's been interfering with your union or getting in the way of it in the union. It just kind of depends for each person. That's going to be clearing. You're going to get a redo. If things have ended, separation. If things have ended with your person and you're in a separation, this is going to be a new cycle. But you have to learn from the old and fix the problems and heal the problems, right? Or just keep going the same. I know so many twin flames that go round and round and round, and they have so many chances. I had like 50 chances, and it's just the same cycle. It's really healing so that you can shift out of these old cycles and patterns so that you can get where you want to be. Now, this is different for everyone. Some of you guys are in union and you've had some problems coming up, like you've gotten really close with your person and it's like the problems are coming up, okay? It's like healing and getting rid of those things because they can't come into union with you, and they can become blocks to coming into union or within your union. You're clearing these things, okay? You're going to heal these things. So there's something that still needs, I don't want to say fixed, but that's the best word, healed, dealt with within this union. Okay, we have the 4 Wands. We're going to close up with like one of my favorite cards of the deck. This is like literally where we want to be. And this is like either my reunion, union, wedding, spending the rest of your life with this person in happy, harmonious union. And I love it. And it's just so much going on in this card, okay? It's also confirmation about this connection. Maybe you're still questioning it. Maybe you don't understand it. Or maybe you're just trying to understand it because you're a logical person and you love to think, and overthink, right? And it's like if you've been overthinking this connection, clearing that worry or stress that comes with being an overthinker. Oftentimes overthinkers are very intuitive, just to let you know. Yeah, you're thinking about it all. This can indicate that, okay? Now, it's different for everyone of where you're at and where you want to be. It's like kind of getting on track and seeing the rainbow after the storm kind of energy. For some in this union, really taking it to that next level and like getting where you want to be with your person and continuing to do what you need to do together. It's a very positive twin flame message, and one of my favorite twin flame cards of the deck, though, just giving you a little bit of reassurance and beautiful energies and reminding you to stay true to your path. I'm sending you a ton of love and good energies. If you do need me, just book me on my website, sparksofdivinelightshealing.com. You need to know what's going on. You need some answers. You need to know how to heal things, what's coming up to heal. Get at me, right? Have lots of beautiful healings for today's Pleiadian alignment on my website too. You can do anything on my website too all of the time. Have a beautiful day.